My friends, today we are preparing for an extraordinary journey into a mystery that could completely overturn the history of the world and indeed the history of our own human race. Just imagine for a moment, far beyond the history we learned in school textbooks. Tens of thousands of years ago, what if a race of humans lived on this earth possessing incredibly advanced technology and immense power? What if they held engineering and astronomical knowledge even more advanced than our modern world today? That magnificent city buried at the bottom of the great ocean, Atlantis. Today we reveal its true story. This is not just a myth, it is a scientific exploration based on physical evidence. You are joined with the SR Universe official YouTube channel. We warmly welcome you to this special expedition searching for the hidden secrets of the universe and human history that no one has seen before. My friends, let's first look at where this great mystery begins. When we look at certain mysterious ruins scattered across the globe, a huge question mark arises regarding the timeline mentioned in our history books. For example, let's examine Gunung Padang, located on the island of Java, Indonesia. At first glance, it looks like an ordinary hill, but recent radar tests by geologists revealed it is not a natural hill, but a massive pyramid built by humans. When the bottom layers were carbon dated, it was confirmed they are over 16,000 years old, perhaps even as old as 27,000 years. Then look at the ruins of Sacsayhuamán in Peru. Massive stone blocks weighing hundreds of tons are connected so precisely without any mortar that you cannot even slide a piece of paper between them. My friends, such a feat is impossible with the traditional copper or bronze tools we know of. These structures clearly show that an extremely advanced engineering science existed on this earth long before the civilizations we are familiar with. Now, let's turn to the strongest historical evidence in this story. The main and oldest source mentioning Atlantis comes from Greece through the writings of the great philosopher Plato, who lived around 360 BCE. It is clearly mentioned in two of his dialogues, Timaeus and Critias. There is a very important point you must understand here. Plato never presented this as a myth or a fairy tale. He referred to it as true history. According to Plato, he heard this story from the lineage of Solon, a famous Greek lawmaker. Solon traveled to the city of Sais in Egypt around 600 BCE. There, he met Egyptian priests who held ancient secrets. Showing him ancient records, they described the great kingdom of Atlantis to Solon. The Egyptian priests told Solon, "You Greeks are still like children, for you know nothing of your own ancient past." So, what was Atlantis? According to Plato's description, Atlantis was a massive island continent located in the Atlantic Ocean beyond the Pillars of Hercules, the modern-day Strait of Gibraltar. It was an incredibly powerful naval empire that ruled the world. It is said they possessed gold, silver, and a mysterious glowing metal called orichalcum. But Plato says that because of the arrogance and greed that came with this great power, the gods punished them. In Plato's own words, violent earthquakes and massive floods occurred, and in a single day and night of misfortune, the entire land of Atlantis sank into the sea. My friends, that is not even the most astonishing part. It is the timing of this destruction. According to Plato, this happened 9,000 years before Solon's time. That is approximately 11,600 years ago. A few decades ago, modern scientists would have laughed at Plato's 11,600-year timeline. They claimed that humans at that time were merely hunter-gatherers living in caves. But, my friends, the discovery of Göbekli Tepe in Turkey in the 1990s, a sacred city with massive stone pillars, shattered all those scientific theories. When scientists carbon-dated Göbekli Tepe, they were stunned because it is exactly 11,600 years old. This means at the exact same time Plato said Atlantis was destroyed, an advanced group of people were building massive stone structures in another part of the world. Could this be a coincidence? Just as Plato said, is it not possible that a great catastrophe occurred 11,600 years ago and the survivors scattered across the globe to build such marvels? To find the answer to this question, we travel next to the Sahara Desert in Africa. Could the ruins of a city that sank in the ocean actually be in the middle of a desert? My friends, if that massive island city described by Plato truly existed, shouldn't there be some trace of it left today? Usually we think of Atlantis as a city hidden at the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean. However, recently, a truly astonishing location in the middle of the Sahara Desert in Africa has captured the attention of many researchers. This place is known as the Richat Structure, also called the Eye of the Sahara, located in Mauritania. When viewed from space, it looks exactly like a giant blue eye in the middle of the desert. Do you know how Plato described the capital city of Atlantis in his writings? He said it was a city consisting of 3 rings of water and 2 rings of land, forming a concentric circle shape. My friends, if you look at the Eye of the Sahara, this exact circular formation is found there precisely as described. This isn't just a similarity in shape. Plato also recorded the size of the city using an ancient measurement called stadia. According to him, the diameter of the city was 127 stadia. If calculated into modern measurements, that is exactly 23.5 kilometers. Amazingly, the diameter of the main circular structure of the Eye of the Sahara is also exactly 23.5 kilometers. Could this be a mere coincidence? However, the scientific world is not yet ready to accept this. Mainstream geologists claim that this is a natural geological dome formed by erosion over millions of years. But let's think for a moment. Is it not possible that ancient advanced humans built their great city upon this naturally occurring circular foundation? Plato further explained that there was a massive mountain range to the north of the city from which large rivers flowed around it. Even today, a vast mountain range and the remains of ancient river valleys can be seen to the north of the Eye of the Sahara. Now, a big question might arise in your mind. Plato said Atlantis was a massive naval empire, right? So how can ships travel in the middle of a desert? Excitingly, my friends, this is where geology provides us with another incredible piece of evidence. The Sahara, which is a desert today, was not always a parched land of sand. Thousands of years ago, it was a lush green land filled with vegetation, massive lakes, and rivers. Science identifies this as the Green Sahara, or the African Humid Period. More importantly, there was a massive seaway that once cut through the entire Sahara Desert. It is known as the Trans-Saharan Seaway. Evidence for this remains today, as scientists find fossils of extinct giant sea serpents, sharks, and massive whales under the burning sands of the Sahara. Just imagine, if Atlantis was located on the Eye of the Sahara, they could have easily deployed their massive naval fleets across the world through this great waterway. But could such a massive civilization that ruled the world, as Plato said, in a single day and night of misfortune, truly vanish completely? My friends, looking at the history of the Earth, the answer is yes. About 12,900 years ago, as the Earth's last ice age was gradually ending and the planet was warming up, something unexpected happened. Suddenly, the Earth's temperature plummeted and the world faced a massive catastrophe. Scientists call this the Younger Dryas event. What caused this? According to the recent Younger Dryas impact hypothesis, a massive comet or several fragments of it collided with the Earth. This impact hit the several kilometer-thick ice sheets in North America. This immense impact caused the ice to melt instantly, releasing massive flows of water into the oceans, known as meltwater pulses. As a result, global sea levels rose instantly by nearly 400 feet, about 120 meters. Just imagine, violent earthquakes, thunderous volcanic eruptions, and massive tsunami waves hundreds of feet high would have rapidly swallowed coastal cities worldwide. What did Plato say about the destruction of Atlantis? Violent earthquakes and floods swallowed the city in a single night. My friends, according to modern scientific calculations, this dark Younger Dryas era ended and the Earth's climate returned to normal exactly 11,600 years ago. What a marvel! This is the exact same time Plato says Atlantis was destroyed. How could the story told by a Greek philosopher thousands of years ago align so perfectly with the physical evidence discovered by science today? Isn't there an enormous gap in our history that we have yet to fill? My friends, would you believe it if I told you that the people of Atlantis possessed technology even more advanced than what we have today? According to Edgar Cayce, the famous 20th century mystic known as the Sleeping Prophet, the Atlanteans used a massive crystal to power their entire civilization. He called this the Great Crystal or the Firestone. Through the invisible energy emitted from this crystal, they were able to power vehicles, heal physical ailments, and transmit energy wirelessly. Just think about it. What if the wireless technology we use today was already perfected by them over 12,000 years ago? Cayce claimed that their misuse of this crystal's power and their greed for unlimited energy eventually led to their own catastrophic downfall. A question many people ask is, where did they get such advanced knowledge? Some researchers suggest that Atlantis was not just an earthly city, but a central hub for contact between humans and extraterrestrial beings. When looking at ancient city plans, their layouts align with star constellations, specifically Orion's belt, with staggering precision. My friends, look at ancient artifacts like the Antikythera mechanism. Found in a shipwreck from the 2nd century BCE, this is essentially the world's oldest mechanical computer. With its incredibly complex system of gears, it could calculate the positions of the sun, moon, and planets with accuracy down to a second. Historians were baffled as to how such advanced metallurgy and engineering existed in that era. Could this be a remnant of the secret technology left behind by the Atlantean civilization? Edgar Cayce made another profound prediction. He claimed that before the final destruction, the Atlanteans safely stashed away records of all their knowledge and history. He called this the Hall of Records. According to him, one such secret chamber is located in Giza, Egypt, beneath the right paw of the Great Sphinx. My friends, in the 1990s, when geologists used seismic surveys and ground-penetrating radar, they confirmed that there is indeed a large rectangular man-made chamber located deep beneath the Sphinx's paw. However, to this day, Egyptian authorities have not granted permission to excavate it. Is it possible that the lost history of the human race is truly hidden right there? My friends, if Atlantis truly existed and was destroyed in a massive flood, what happened to the survivors? It is believed that as the waters rose, the high priests and engineers of Atlantis fled to different corners of the world to preserve their knowledge. This explains why we see massive pyramids with similar architectural styles appearing suddenly in Egypt, Mexico, and even Indonesia. In ancient Egyptian mythology, the god Thoth is said to have arrived from a lost island in the west, bringing with him the secrets of writing, medicine, and mathematics. This knowledge was not invented, it was inherited from a civilization that had already mastered it. But did you know that there is a connection to our part of the world as well? Ancient legends speak of a sunken continent in the Indian Ocean known as Kumari Kandam. Just like Atlantis, it was described as a land of great wisdom and culture that was swallowed by the sea. My friends, when we look at the ruins of Nan-Madol in Micronesia or the underwater structures of Yonaguni in Japan, we see the same megalithic building techniques. These are the footprints of a global maritime network. It suggests that before the Great Flood, the Earth was one interconnected world, a world where the wisdom of Atlantis flowed from the Atlantic to the shores of the Indian Ocean and beyond. As we conclude this journey, we must ask ourselves, what can we learn from Atlantis? Plato stated that Atlantis did not fall just because of a natural disaster, but because they lost their spiritual path and succumbed to greed and the arrogance of power. As we reach the heights of our modern technology today, their story serves as a mirror and a warning for our own future. The truth of our origin is not lost. It is waiting for us to be brave enough to look beneath the waves and under the sands. Thank you for joining this great exploration with SR Universe Official. If you believe that our history is much deeper than what we are told, like this video and share your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to stay connected with the mysteries of our universe. Your past is the key to your future. Until we meet again in our next journey, stay curious.